blessed risings, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where in the world you are tapping in from. You got to keep in mind that Keep It P podcast is a global show. And today on Keep It P podcast, breaking news, we will be discussing scientists say they've confirmed evidence that humans arrived in the Americas far earlier than previously thought. Now, for my B1 and FBA community, this is not news to us. But for those who are just tuning in, just now finding this program, just now finding themselves, just now researching their blackness, you will understand Christopher Columbus did not, in fact, discover the Americas. They already, if so, existed and were heavily populated. Now, when you think population, you think big neighborhoods, grocery stores, skyscrapers, and whatnot. But there was people cohabitating. There was people surviving. There was people living. There was. You have a new discovery of fossilized footprints made in what's now New Mexico were made public in 2021. It was a bombshell moment for archaeology, seemingly rewriting a chapter of the Black story. Now, new research is offering further evidence of their significance. While they look like they could have been made yesterday, the footprints were pressed into mud 21 to 23,000 years ago, according to radiocarbon dating of the seeds of a aquatic plant that were preserved above and below the fossils. An aqua plant. I can't say the word. Aquatic plant. The groundbreaking discovery has confirmed evidence that people of African descent arrived in the Americas far earlier than previously thought. The findings challenge the long-held belief that the first humans to reach the Americas were Native American who migrated from Asia across the Bering Land Bridge. The new evidence comes from a study of ancient DNA extracted from human remains from these footprints. Contains a mixture of African and Native American DNA that suggests that people of African descent were present in the Americas at the same time as Native Americans or even earlier. The finding is significant because it rewrites our understanding of early history of the Americas. Again, they have to repeat because this is a rewriting, but not to us. We already know that. We know about the Moors that went through the whole world, and all of a sudden they didn't come here. It also challenges the racist narrative that African Americans are not native to the Americas. Of course, that's what they would love for you to think. They want to say the Americas, the last landmass to be settled by prehistoric people. The 61 dated prints, which were discovered in the Tularosa Rosa Basin near the edge of an ancient lake in White Sands National Park, were made at a time when many scientists think that massive ice sheets had sealed off human passage into North America, indicating that humans arrived in the region even earlier. So before the ice sheet. However, some archaeologists question the age of the footprints, hating on the black man as usual. The skeptics noted that aquatic plants such as Rupia cirrhosa The one used in the 21 study can acquire carbon from dissolved atoms in the water rather than the air, which can result in a misleadingly early date. In a follow up study published Thursday in the Journal of Science, researchers said they produced two new lines of evidence to support their initial dates. Even as the original works are being published, we are forging ahead to test our results with multiple lines of evidence. So you know what you're about to put out ain't right. Then they try to persuade you that it's wrong. No, we got this new stuff over here. Then everybody done retested it and it's really correct. We are confident in our original ages as well as the strong geologic, hydrologic, and stratigraphic evidence, but we knew that independent chronologic control was critical. When and how early humans first migrated to the Americas has long been debated. It remains poorly understood. Yeah, of course, because it has to do with black people. Current estimates for the first inhabitants range from 13,000 years ago to more than 20,000 years ago, as we just proved. It's more likely from the 20,000 to 23,000 years ago. However, the earliest archaeological evidence for the region's settlement is sparse and often controversial, making the footprints especially important. I'm not going to finish reading this. A lot of jargon and mumble jumble. Um, they want you to know there was more ice sheets. They covered a northern third of America, reaching far south as New York City, Cincinnati, and Des Moines. It was ice and cold temperatures. It would have made the journey between Asia and Alaska impossible during that time, meaning the people who made the footprints likely arrived much earlier. The American continents were the last step on modern humans' global journey across the world. It is fascinating to imagine what it must have been like to enter a new region and contend with the challenges and opportunities that new environments would have presented. You mean the black people that was here already? That you guys just won't admit to? That's what we learned here today, boys and girls. They want you to keep thinking that your ancestry revolves around being shipped on a boat and millions of y'all came enslaved on a boat. Now, I'm not saying we wasn't enslaved in slavery here and there was none of us in the killing fields of the South. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying our whole lineage doesn't come from slavery. Sorry. Not gonna hold you, just gonna mold you, fold you, and scold you about being off code. Gonna leave you with 4 words as we always do. Subscribe for the vibe, like for the spike, comment your vomit, share if you care, if you dare, and where over there on all those platforms. It's gonna keep you informed. Love, peace, blessings in Maloha. Gotta go high for show high. You already know how. Big brother light bright, Supremo Might T, signing off.